Behind the massive stone walls of Fredensborg Palace, a quiet crisis is unfolding, one that the Danish royal family is desperately trying to wrap in a veneer of absolute calm. On the 14th of May, the 86-year-old former monarch, Queen Margrethe, was rushed to Rigshospitalet suffering from severe angina, forcing doctors to perform an immediate balloon angioplasty. While the official press releases paint a picture of smooth sailing and a routine recovery, the sudden cancellation of all her public appearances tells a far more precarious story. For a woman who has spent over half a century refusing to ever slow down, this sudden, forced silence inside the palace isn't just about rest. It is a calculated effort to conceal the true, fragile reality of an aging matriarch fighting the limits of her own legendary stamina. To truly understand what is happening behind these closed doors, you have to look past the carefully manicured statements, a perspective we specialize in uncovering here at Royal Scope. When Queen Mary stepped before the cameras shortly after the discharge, she delivered what seemed like a reassuring update, noting that Margrethe was doing much better, feeling tired, but remaining in good spirits. There was a genuine warmth in Mary's voice, that trademark, straightforward Australian touch cutting clean through the usual, rigid royal formality. But in the world of high-stakes royal public relations, what is left unsaid is always far more important than what is spoken aloud. The reality of an 86-year-old body undergoing a cardiac procedure to clear blocked arteries involves a grueling aftermath of heavy medication routines, unpredictable fatigue, and constant medical monitoring. By focusing heavily on her good spirits, the palace successfully diverts attention away from a much darker question that the family is quietly grappling with behind the scenes. This isn't just a minor medical bump in the road. It is the first time the nation is witnessing the structural cracking of an institution that once seemed entirely bulletproof. For 52 years, Margrethe ruled Denmark not just as a political figurehead, but as an unstoppable cultural force, the chain-smoking, art-loving, no-nonsense queen who single-handedly dragged a medieval monarchy into the modern era. She has always been viewed as one of those grand old Danish sailing ships, built from the toughest timber, tested by the most brutal winter storms, and still cutting through waves that would capsize people half her age. But even the strongest ships eventually face structural fatigue, and this sudden heart scare is the ultimate indicator that the vessel has been forced into dry dock for urgent, critical repairs. The family has instantly rallied around her with a fierce, protective unity that feels refreshingly real, yet intensely hushed. Imagine the scene right now inside the private quarters of Fredensborg Palace. The muffled footsteps echoing down long, historical corridors, the whispered medical briefings held behind heavy oak doors, and the subtle, worried glances exchanged between King Frederick and Queen Mary when they think the staff isn't paying attention. These deeply human, tense moments of vulnerability are completely scrubbed from the polished public updates, because maintaining the illusion of royal stability is paramount. Yet, an undercurrent of anxiety is spreading through the palace, driven by a ticking clock and a major family milestone that suddenly hangs in the balance. The timing of this cardiac episode adds a profound layer of emotional weight to an already complex family dynamic. Prince Joachim and Princess Marie recently confirmed that their entire family will finally return to Danish soil in August of 2027, a homecoming that was supposed to be a celebratory reunion after years of highly publicized geographic and emotional distance. What was once viewed as a standard, scheduled return has instantly transformed into something much more urgent and heavy. The unspoken question now lingering in the crisp air around Fredensborg is whether Margrethe will possess the physical strength to truly enjoy her grandchildren's return, or if this medical emergency is the beginning of a long, permanent retreat from the public eye. In this shifting landscape, Queen Mary's role has rapidly evolved from supportive daughter-in-law to the primary anchor of the monarchy's public image. By stepping forward to deliver the definitive health updates, Mary is projecting a calculated image of absolute stability, continuity, and deep familial affection. There is no cold, aristocratic distance here. Instead, Danes see a modern, warm leader stepping seamlessly into the vacuum to shield the family matriarch. It is precisely the kind of sophisticated, empathetic leadership that has made Mary incredibly popular, reassuring a nervous public that even if the old guard is fading, the crown remains in exceptionally safe hands. Yet, no amount of clever public relations can entirely mask the stark, physical reality of a severe cardiac recovery at 86 years old. When the palace uses words like resting comfortably, they are technically telling the truth, but they are omitting the intense physical toll that an invasive arterial procedure takes on an elderly frame. The exhaustion that lingers for weeks, the sudden drops in blood pressure, and the psychological shock of realizing one's own mortality are realities that the royal family must manage in total privacy. This growing division between official calm and the private, clinical truth is where the real, unfolding drama of the Danish court currently sits. This medical crisis has struck an incredibly deep, emotional chord across the entire nation, forcing a collective realization that time is running out. How do you feel about the palace's tight control over the details of her recovery? And do you think the family can maintain this united front as the monarchy transitions into this fragile new chapter? Take a moment to hit that subscribe button, join us here at Royal Scope, and share your perspective in the comments below so we can keep tracking these historic shifts together. The sheer volume of public support pouring into the palace gates reveals just how deeply Margrethe is cherished as the grandmother of the nation. Watching her slow down, even temporarily, has forced the public to confront the invaluable nature of her remaining years. But this health scare has also achieved something remarkable within the palace walls. It has acted as an unexpected catalyst for internal healing. Serious medical emergencies have an uncanny ability to instantly cut through royal titles, rigid protocols, and long-standing historical grievances like a sharp Danish knife slicing through smørrebrød. The old, bitter family tensions regarding titles and status that previously dominated the headlines have suddenly turned completely silent. The focus within the House of Glucksburg has instantly sharpened onto what truly matters: presence, mutual survival, and making the absolute most of the years left on the horizon. Margrethe's forced convalescence at Fredensborg Palace is providing her with the vital breathing space she desperately needs, far away from the relentless glare of cameras and state obligations. Whether she eventually reappears at smaller, private family gatherings sooner than expected, or this marks the beginning of a prolonged, low-profile retirement, the crisis has already achieved something historic. It has completely humanized the Danish monarchy in a profound way that no elaborate speech, royal jubilee, or grand state ceremony ever could. She may have officially abdicated the throne to her son, but she has clearly demonstrated that she has not abdicated her permanent, immovable place in the hearts of her people. The coming weeks will undoubtedly reveal the true trajectory of her physical progress as the palace slowly tests her strength. For now, the family's fiercely united front and Mary's carefully balanced words offer a sense of genuine comfort to a worried nation, even as the completely cleared schedule serves as a stark reminder that this is a serious, historic crossroad. This narrative goes infinitely deeper than a standard medical update bulletin routinely issued by a government press office. This is a story about the raw physics of aging, the weight of a monumental legacy, and a modern royal family quietly tightening its bonds when the pressure is dialed up to the absolute maximum. Margrethe built her entire historic reputation on a foundation of absolute independence, unyielding duty, and immense personal strength. Right now, in the quiet, protected rooms of Fredensborg, allowing herself to finally step back and let others care for her might just be the most graceful, powerful act of her entire life.